Margot. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Margot. Oh, what are you screaming about? I know, we're gonna take the curtain down. Just not yet. Mm-hmm. Well, come here. Get back here. You want to sit with me, you gotta sit with me. Alrighty. My life is terrible. No, that's not too bad. Alright, so starting off the stream late. And to reorganize everything on my desk as far as these cameras and whatnot, as well as making room over here. I've got this backdrop and whatnot up. I was working on an intro video yesterday, so that is what we have been up to. Eventually she's gonna get comfy. Yippee. Hi. She'd much prefer to just sit down on the floor right next to me and scream at me until I pick her up again. But yeah, good morning, Possum. Good morning, everyone. I am a little late. I definitely thought I would be able to come down and set my cameras up like how I have them a lot easier than I did. So I'm going to learn from that mistake. I definitely learned it's hot over here. It's probably because I've got all this air blocked off. So I need to remember that too. Worked on an intro video trying to explain who I am and what I'm wanting to do with this channel. So today I'm going to be editing that. It's going to be fun. I'm pretty excited. I've got some pretty silly transitions. Margot will be featured prevalently as is her station. And what else am I covering here? Still waking up, still sleepy. There's a Margot hair on frustration. It's very small. I'm too hot. I gotta take this hoodie off. Okay. So today I need to finish. You are glowing, champ. Thanks. I feel like the lighting is definitely, it's different. I initially was doing all of my, where'd they go? I was doing all of the lighting yesterday, which was pretty fun. Here they are. With these two paper towels, just to give you an idea. Little tool, or not trick of the trade, but like, this is how I like cut the lighting for shooting videos. And I was pretty content with how it looked in person, given that I do not have stuff for shooting film, but just from learning other people, my buddy Alan, watching Johnny set up lighting for games and boards like that. Another example of what I picked up from the community. Man, I lost my tape. I had a little piece of tape that I was going to put on there to show you guys, but I don't know. I don't know where it went. Anyway, so pretty much I just took my lamp like this and put it up as high as it would go. But I've got those paper towels taped to cover where the light source is actually coming from, which is very meta in a certain sense. So I've got my desk lights on, but I'll turn those off to give you an idea of lighting. I thought it was pretty fun. Also, keep in mind I've got my laptop on, so there's a little bit more glare. That was my kneecap. Cheers to scooch. Go down. Fix my chair, quote unquote. And now it sometimes sticks, but it doesn't go down on its own. Yeah, that lighting's better. At least I think it is. I definitely finagled with it more and more, but I thought that it was pretty good for that. Also, I'm talking specifically up in this little corner, not on frustration. Frustration's looking great, as always. Come on. I'm just trying to get my should look right. I don't know. I'm trying to get this to fit in here. Too many things to learn. But okay, there we go. I've moved into the corner. Also make myself a little smaller. There we go. I'll move frustration. Yours. Yeah, that looks good. And now I'll take off these lights so you can actually see again. But yeah, I thought that was pretty fancy. Just taking my painting light and adding some paper towels to it to create diffused light, which the entire reason that I need to do that is very funny, to me at least, because it's pretty meta. But as a little highlight, I've pretty much set up the lighting in my area as though I was going to paint myself with a zenithal highlight, and that made me have good lighting, good shadows. I think someone just drove by in either a crotch rocket or some kind of car that has something done to it. It was very high pitched. It's fun. Speaking of which, I'm not a motorcycle guy. I'm not a car guy. This was definitely a thing that I was really excited by. At one point in time, we were going through Nashville and someone passed us on a crotch rocket. And, okay, so you could hear it. Yeah, that like, I had to really guess. Probably 100 yards, maybe 75 to 100 yards from the bypass. There's the bypass to pretty much go around our town, city. The main bypass. The original bypass to go around our city, it's grown a lot since, is right over there. So I hear a lot of people. Same thing with the train. There's a train you get used to. But we were going through Nashville one time, and it was, if you've ever been to Nashville, it was Nashville busy traffic, commute, it sucks. There are so many people. And we were driving. It's like the busiest time, and you just hear that noise, and all of a sudden there's this red light that just goes by, and this dude passes us and is gone to where I can no longer see him on the like interstate within I can't remember how many seconds, but I counted it because I was trying to guess. I was trying to clock his speed based on how fast we were going, and he had to be doing an absurd like speed. It's just like we were doing 80 something, and he not only caught up to us but passed us, and then just disappeared to where we couldn't see him within moments. And that made me think, man, how fast can those go? And then I looked it up, and if you're not a motorcycle guy, I'm not. Holy shit, it's funny. Because it's like someone made that machine and was like, oh yeah, people are gonna fucking die on this. No doubt about it. Like, why would you need to have a machine that goes like 250 miles an hour that you strap yourself onto? It's just, I just like that it's, I think everybody obviously, you should be safe, but it's just like, it's one of those inventions that people are like, yep, if you're going to climb on this, we assume that you know what you're doing and you're climbing on it. Because like everything at paper, like face value, you're like, this is going to kill me. I'm probably going to die. Which, yeah, hopefully that doesn't bring up any trauma or stress for anybody. I actually worked with a guy. That's my like, not fear, but my lack of any desire whatsoever to ever get on a motorcycle came from a coworker of mine when I was still like in high school. A coworker of mine, I guess I just graduated. A coworker of mine had got a motorcycle, and he brought it into work, and our boss was like, yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. And he was like, yeah, you're riding a motorcycle. You want to hop on? You want to try it out? He's like, oh, no, I don't do that. I don't touch motorcycles. My friend got one. And, when the week that he got it, he brought it home and he was showing all of our friends, and our friend so-and-so got on it, and he didn't know what he was doing. He revved it up and fell. And then he described, this is extremely graphic. So if you are like, just watch the stream afterwards. You might want to skip if you don't want to hear a very grisly death story. But essentially, this guy fell. And it's one of those things that you don't think about often. Most people don't. I think about them because just like, oh, shit. I think after you've had like a couple of, oh, man, I could have just died. Like, that would have been it. I think that's when you're like, hey, I get it. But this guy fell pretty much, the motorcycle went up and he fell back, like landed his like tailbone and his spine. This is a first-hand account told from a friend who witnessed this. My manager, he was just like, yeah, my friend fell back on his spine, and his spine came up out of his back. And he was like, yeah, I killed him instantaneously. He was like, it was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. And that's why I don't get on motorcycles. And I was just like, fuck me. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to either. That did it. And that is why I have no desire to ever get on a motorcycle. Yep. Bedtime stories, Possum. That one's probably actually a pretty disturbing story to hear from before bed. Yeah, good story from Mike. Haven't thought about that guy in a long time, but man, he made me never have a desire to. I have so many friends who have motorcycles. They're like, oh yeah, man, you should get one. You should get one. I'm like, I don't want my spine to come out of me. Like, I was like told very early that that's what happens if you get a motorcycle. Your spine. This is not good. I'm trying to fix this cable. I need to set up all of my. It's okay. This is my last week of bedtime stories. Oh no. Wait, so does that mean you're not going to be joining the stream, or does that mean that you don't need a bedtime story? I'm very curious. I'm going to be really sad if I don't get to tell Possum bedtime stories anymore. All right, frustration. There you are. I have transcended and no longer. Oh, congratulations! That's wonderful, Possum. I'm so happy for you. They're changing my house. Oh, okay. Well, that I understand. I understand. Well, I hope you'll still be able to join the stream. Transcended and no longer need sleep. I didn't realize that I have a TST shirt on under this, so that makes it even funnier. I would be so down to like not need sleep anymore. My wife would not. She loves sleeping. I don't. I think we're just different people. I will be skating to work when we start the stream up. Oh no. Shoot. Alright. Well, that makes me sad. That's heavy news today, Possum, but I'll survive. I'll find something. I'll pretend you're here. I'll just talk to you. I started working on this guy the other day. I was going to kind of show him. Boop, boop, boop. Maybe I can zoom in. Here comes my wife. Hey. Hell yeah. Thank you. Icky. That is icky. My wife is getting Don's breakfast. Okay, yeah, that's what icky. This guy. Yeah. So, wah. Try to get a better look at this guy's face. So essentially, I started working on this guy as I'll still be around, just might not be able to chat as much. Yeah, no worries. Sorry, wasn't trying to not put anything on you there, Possum. You do you. I just love your presence, love your company. But yeah, I wanted to start doing an actual kind of like character study along with the Marguvian man. So these two, I've been working on ideas. Yeah. Thank you. Love you. I have been working on a bunch of terrain for Tonks. That was very impulsive that I just started, but I've been chasing my happiness. And these, I'll get to these. So Tonks, I don't have model Tonks, but you've got, trying to think of, yeah, that's good. That light's good. Okay, so in Tonks, pretty much the game that Scavs is based off of. I brought a couple of Flames of War. Honestly, I think I have the tanks, the little tanks game that Gale Force 9, which I'm pretty sure is also who makes Flames of War. They made tanks, which is a little set where it comes with 2 Shermans and I believe a Panther. World of Tanks. Yeah, I love tanks. So I'm like, man, why have I not started playing that? But another idea, and this is kind of one of the things I was going to discuss on my channel more, and I kind of hinted that in the video I made yesterday. I'm really excited to show you guys. Today I'm going to be editing that and working on the music for it, and adding in a lot of fun jumbo transitions. Just Margot. I really want to channel the How the Grinch Stole Christmas scene. When the song is going, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch," when Jim Carrey's just getting real wild and crazy in Whoville. I want that energy to be kind of what transcends. That's the energy I want to put out into the world. Is I'm the Grinch stealing Christmas. But yeah, so I was thinking, what kind of games do I want to play with my wife, and what kind of games do I want to play with like people like actually who will be coming at my house, because I don't have too many people around me actually that play games where you need to make armies and things like that. So any kind of game that I can I can work on, that I only need to make X amount of things and then still have a lot of room for uh, creativity and design and intent. I love that. Being able to use like scabs as like a basis to put, together a little boat and pretend like my cats are in there, and come up with a crazy little story about them being little pirate slash war criminals. Um, that's that's a fun little thing for me. I enjoy that kind of stuff. So what I was doing with Tonks, because I have those, we don't have any like little boat models, so I was just like, how do I convince get my wife to play this game with me that I enjoyed. Uh, that led me to realizing, oh, if I go with Tonks, I've already got what I need. I just need to make some terrain, or not even make some terrain. I can just use sticks or whatever. So I started making some terrain. They are all still very basic, conceptual right now, but I figured I would just touch base a little bit and kind of give an overall idea about what this setting is that I'm working on. I was also using this as a piece of terrain time, but I had it on this little base. So with Tonks, you need roughly 3 2x4 squarish pieces of terrain. And I did not want to use squares because they're very square. So this, I pretty much, I figured out what 2x4, these little squares. And it's not square, it's circular, but if you like took that and condensed it, it's enough. The same area. It's the same area as the 2x4. It's rough. The idea behind these, and aesthetically, I know that right now they look like shit and trash. Most of my stuff starts out that way. So I wanted to be able to start with something as much trash as I can to show where the idea and the concept is coming from. So the entire setting is a distant feature, and this is for Tonks. I'm playing Tonks in the setting that I'm working on, which I'm still workshopping the name, but I'm pretty happy with. Not just as a game, but as an overall universe to tell stories in. This particular section of the world is one that I really like. Yay, this is trash. I can write on it. My life would probably be easier if I kept dedicated notebooks, clearly labeled and in easy to reach places, as opposed to having to write on trash and then storing trash. But yeah, so essentially the world is shattered into these 3 sections. And this is the fun spot over here that we're playing in. That's Marco. And this is Theo. And this is Oliver. That's just how his face looks. Now, I know you're thinking, why are you drawing your cats? Well, because where's the whiteboard? Oh, yeah, no, the whiteboard. I took the whiteboard over there. Oh, the whiteboard is covered in, fuck it. You know what? Awesome. I love having the stream, so I'll cover this. I essentially yesterday was still working on what I wanted with my stream, and I think that an issue that I had. I mean, I made so many videos yesterday. I just kept deleting it, starting it, deleting it, starting it, deleting it, starting it, deleting it, and it's crazy because like the stuff that comes so not even naturally. I mean, like second nature. Like I don't have a choice. My brain just wants me to do these things that are, I know, hard for other people. Marco, Ignore the jumbo behind the curtain. She's not behind the curtain. She's somewhere back there. But yeah, like the things that I know are hard for me are normal for other people. So like I pretty much had to like get Kelly to help me sit down and actually just calm down and just act like I'm talking to a normal person. There's something very clearly like that I have an issue with uh, watching myself do something. I just find an issue in everything I do. So I pretty much was breaking it down into sections, almost like an interview from Margot. Where it's just Margot would be like, "Wow, so what are you doing here anyway?" And then I would just like, "Well, Margot, that's hey." But pretty much said that I wanted to make a safe, inclusive place to learn how to do what I do, whether that's model making, sculpting, world building, story building, as well as actual gameplay of things that I enjoy. The 28 community has provided me with experiences and an environment to grow as a person, and I just want to return that favor. I think that's, yeah, I think it's difficult for everyone to talk at nothing at first. I talked to Nick, Mr. Pink Modern Synthesis. He was messaging me while I was trying to do this, and mid like one of my breakdowns, like I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just record this? He messaged me and I was just like, dude, I don't know how the fuck you do this. And he was just like, oh, hey, hot tip, make your videos from your stream videos. And I was just like, holy shit, like that's just hearing, I mean, even hearing that someone who you respect so much that they're like, oh yeah, that's hard. Like that's like enough. Like, and it's, I know I beat myself up. And that's exactly the kind of thing that I want to make. And I realized that other people would just be like, oh, let me get on YouTube. I was trying to explain this to Kelly. I'm such a weird person, and I'm realizing this now because it's like, oh yeah, a YouTuber who does not make content for YouTube, but it's like, or who doesn't like watch, like I watch stuff with like Kelly on YouTube, but YouTube is, I don't have the self-control, I think, to hang out on YouTube because there's just too much. I could fall down a pit and never leave. If it helps, tape a picture of a possum to your wall. Oh, of course. I gotta have a possum picture. Yeah, that means, oh, yeah. And then after I said, yeah, to grow, and I just want to return that favor, I was going to have Margot's face whirl across the camera, like transparently, and say, oh, and just bing. Does that mean? And I was like, yeah, that means lots of fun stuff. Missions opening up for the first time, ideas for whole new settings that we've been building that are dark as beep. Oh, yeah. So lots of that kind of silly stuff with Margot, which I feel like is pretty on brand. But now that I've said that, that means that I don't really need this, so I can clean off the whiteboard. To summarize as easily as possible, though, because I don't want to talk your head off. I have been working a lot on the universe that I have kind of played in with like other games, but now it's more like connecting the dots. I've got so many different RPGs that I've planned out and played with in the years. So, and if I've talked about this too much, stop me. But so Wretched was the game that I made, not to be confused with The Watcher, which was another game that I made. That was my first, like, I want to make a game. That's a board game. Wretched is an RPG. Actually, it's not even an RPG. Wretched is a storytelling system. I'm going to call it what it is. Because it's system agnostic in the sense that it's not a story itself. It is a way of storytelling. Wretched. That is what I referred to my first when I broke away from Fantasy Flight's games role-playing games because they are so rules heavy. I wanted to have something that was very streamlined to make the players as much like the characters as possible to help it just kind of flow. Because I don't. Well, the more that the players, I want the players to obviously talk and to be in the mood, but I want them to react like it's happening to them. Um, because I've definitely the tension, and I think that's it's because I want to create tension in my stories. Horror is predominantly the kind of story that I like to tell. Uh, Even if it's not horror, I like suspense. And I have created successfully over the years. I've done a lot of different things to try and create senses of horror. And I just remembered something that I want to show you that I still am like, I love this so much. This is the first like player like intent like solely made like for just the players to like use prop that I did, but essentially I took this old notebook and I weathered it, and I did it very quickly and very loose and very dirty. And if I did it again, not dirty, just shoddy, I'll probably revisit it. I probably will touch it up, but and I think yeah, he only made it 3 pages in, but I left this notebook with a bunch of pages torn out, and the last note was heading to Resi, fucked up switches, so he's stuck in there. If you came 12B, I'm sorry. Keep book and pen. I took pages I needed. If you came 13B, don't take 12. Don't let James in. Ow. And that was the note that they found this book and this note, or that note in the book with a bunch of pages missing. And I distinctly just remember the player who found it when I gave it to him. He opened it and he was just like, he was looking at it. Or he was looking at it for a long time. Just like, oh yeah. And then he opened it and he was just reading it. And everyone at the table was just like, what is it? And he was just like, hey, what was that guy's name? Because they came in through an airlock, and there was this, when they came in, like a corpse kind of like floated past them, and his name was James on his like name tag. And essentially they were like, oh, that was James. And like they looked and James wasn't in the, like they left him in the ship. What's the room called that when you go from outside a ship here? It's essentially where pressure, the pressurization zone. I'll be right back. Whole bunch of paper. All right, so I'm going to actually step away for just a minute. My wife is about to leave, but she got me some McDonald's breakfast. So I was going to keep that. I can keep talking about this if there's interest, or I can stop. How long has the stream been going? 35 minutes. I don't want to make you guys wait on me for this. So I probably will stop there, and I can pick back up unless, yeah, I'll probably stop there. But I very much have enjoyed chatting. I will be more regular in my time when I get here setting up, as well as trying to be more structured in what I'm talking about. Just trying to switch between video and streaming is difficult, but I very much great having you here. Good having you, Possum. I very much have appreciated chatting. I will have things more organized, better laid out in the future, but take care.